Aaron, what you got for this podcast?
Well, let's see. I brought my fucking vape with me.
All right, Alex, what you got?
Well, let's get a little dry sometimes, so I got my nice tube of Vaseline here.
All right.
Get all nice and
All
moist.
There you go.
Tim, what you bring?
I brought my DeWalt headphones to the podcast today.
All right.
Let's introduce Alex. Alex is a good friend of ours. He works at the same place we all do. So Alex, he's a special guest today, and we're really happy to have him. Alex, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell them how old you are, when's your birthday, all that good shit.
So I'm Alex. I was born in '99, so I'm born in May. So I'm going
a little bit older than
just a little
Aaron.
bit. Yeah, I'm going on 24 coming up this year.
That's
No,
not
Aaron
right.
was 90. When were you born?
99. 97. No,
Oh.
I'm technically older. If you want to get
A
technical.
couple months.
So you was born in '97 and '99.
No.
I thought it was 97.
He thought it was 97.
I'm the oldest here.
Easy with it.
Can I get the senior rate?
No, but
You know what's fucked up? I used to say shit like that to people who were my age that I was hanging out with.
Damn.
When I was your age, I'm like, dude, you're almost 90. Damn, no, I'm kidding. Dude. That's what I get though. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Alex. I'm sorry.
Going on 24. Been working with these guys for a good while. Became good friends. It's always a joy to see them inside and outside of the workplace. Right now, I'm also.
You don't fool around with your hands too much, okay? We're on a podcast. Everybody can see what you're doing, okay?
Yes, sir. I'm trying to keep it down to a bare minimum.
All right.
Yeah.
But it's super happy to have you on here.
Yeah, I'm glad to be
glad
here,
about
yeah.
it, and we got a lot to talk about, and I'd love to hear your input because, at work we don't really get to talk about, personal things, so I'd love to get into it and talk about current events and whatever else you may want to talk about, segue into, and
I just miss Seth, not being here with us.
I know, man.
Oh, yeah. Seth's not here.
Yep. If he sends me a video of him with his Barbie fishing pole I got him for Christmas, I'll be sure to put that in the podcast. So let's go on to our first topic. Aaron, whatever you want to talk about, Aaron's the guy. And we got the Google on the table, so if we got any Hey Google questions, Google's right there to.
Sorry, what's the question?
Yeah, nothing. I don't have a question for you right now, baby, but I'll let you know later.
I don't think Rainy will be
Ask me
be
any
okay.
question you'd like.
Be okay with you calling her baby, but okay.
Let's get on the first topic and let's just see where we're at.
Okay, so first today's news is the U.S. debt.
The U.S. national debt. Let's ask Google how much, what the total is today. I think from the last time I seen it, it was about $31 trillion. $31 trillion.
When was that?
I think 2 days ago.
I haven't kept up with it, but I was going to guess somewhere around 15.
Trillion?
Yeah, I was going to guess somewhere
You
around 15.
know when the debt was 15 trillion? It was back when I was in high school.
Yeah, you see,
So-
I remember that because I used to.
Back in my day.
Back in your day, when I was in sixth
God
grade.
damn it!
When I was in sixth grade, my teacher would keep up with the national debt clock.
No.
And
And he would have it up there.
Yeah.
Oh, like there's something that sixth graders could do about it.
He was very into current events in the state of the country and
Oh, yeah.
such topics like our debt, and he had his own website that we could go view for school related.
Oh
topics.
yeah,
So
I think I remember that.
and yeah, and that was on top of the his website was just
Yeah.
our debt clock for some reason.
It's
But yeah,
crazy.
the last time I even considered looking at it was about 15. So
Let's ask Google how much it is.
Okay.
Hey Google, what's the U.S. national debt right now?
On the website fiscaldata.treasury.gov, they say, as of December 2022, it costs $210 billion to maintain the debt, which is 15% of the total federal spending. The national debt has increased every year over the past 10 years. People also ask me, what is the U.S. national debt right now? Want to hear the answer?
Considering that was the first question, yes.
Sorry, I didn't understand,
Bitch.
but I found something related.
She was
Do you
petty
want to
about
know
it.
what would you ask for if the answer was yes?
Yes.
On the website Quora.com, they say, what would you ask if you know the answer is yes? I think best is to ask for attention.
Hold
and make
on.
the
I
best
like
of it.
Alexa so much better.
Attention
than
is very much
should've said yes the
desirable
first
when it is
time.
an
I think I
extreme-
should.
Okay, Google, stop.
Hey Google, what is the U.S. national debt right now?
I think you said a few mean words to her. She don't want to talk to you no more.
Tim, you fucked her up.
All right,
Thanks.
it's your Google. Go ahead.
Hey Google, what is the U.S. debt currently?
On the website fiscaldata.treasury.gov, they say as of December 2022 it costs $210 billion to maintain
Google.
the debt, which is 15% of the total federal.
Yes.
On the website pgpf.org, they say the $31 trillion gross federal debt equals debt held by the public plus debt held by federal trust funds and other government accounts.
Okay. So $31 trillion.
Okay.
You said
Um,
the last
and
time
rising.
it was 13?
No.
No, 31.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 31. It was just a couple days ago. $31 trillion.
Oh, okay.
And it's crazy how much people can do this because Obama, in his 8 years, it only went up $6.2 trillion. In Trump's 4 years, it went up $7.2 trillion. So I don't know what we're spending the money on, but we need to figure something out.
It's clearly not our debt, that's for sure.
Yeah, you know, it's not something I voted for, but what I think that we just we can't keep going the way we're going. You know, we gotta figure out something that's gonna work, something that's gonna put our debt behind us, and you know what? We need Dave Ramsey up in that bitch.
Dave Ramsey.
We need Dave Ramsey up in there, figuring shit out. Alex, how do you feel about the national debt?
Well, I mean, I feel like more infrastructure inside the country could help out a lot more. Instead of, having to rely on other nations to buy our products from, such as
Right.
like China, India, whatever, it's, I mean, you hear people say this all the time, like, oh, it's made in China, it ain't made in the USA, all this stuff. Well, I mean, I feel like there's some weight to that when people talk, because, I'm sure years ago before my time, back when debt was considerably lower, we had the means to provide for ourselves in a lot of
Yeah,
areas. And
it's
I
true.
feel like, there's a lot of things that, we, have to take from other nations and spend in, and, I feel like that has a lot to do with it, but.
That's true, and I think it just goes down to where we're putting our money and what we're doing with our money. And I think it just goes down to the point of creating a budget, sticking to it, and regardless of how anybody feels about it, we just need to keep on the track. And if we default, does anybody know what happens when we default on the loan, or we don't pay back our debt?
Well, if it was me, like for instance, because I pay mortgage
Right.
on my house, they usually, they're like, well, here's a late fee because you didn't pay for it,
Right.
or you didn't let us know, so we're gonna get you to pay this money, but plus extra because you didn't pay for it on time. And I feel like that's the same. It feels like the same way that the government should be played against, because we also.
Who are we going to enforce it to, though? That's the thing, So the way that it was explained to me and the way that I understand it, the government has investors like I think it's other countries that invest in the United States because it's a good investment. Their money, doubles every year or something like that. It
Gains
definitely
interest.
compounds. Yes, their money that they have in the country compounds. But if that debt isn't paid or isn't paid back, then these investors start pulling out, and the U.S. has less money. So if we default, there's no more Social Security. There's no one is going to get paid. That's government affiliated is not going to get paid. all of the interest rates are going to go higher. Car insurance, car payments, house payments, property taxes, all that's going to go up, and interest rates are going to go sky high. Everything is going to go higher and higher, and it's also going to increase the inflation rate, which is already at an astronomical rate. So
it's already bad enough as it is because interest rates on everything's gone up too.
Yeah, the gas prices are at the all-time high last year in the summer.
Do we know how much it was last year? Back in the summer, it was almost close to like what,
$4.
Yeah,
It
It was
$4,
$4.50 almost.
Which
$4.98. Actually, it was $4.98 at Sam's Club. When the most that I filled up was like $120.
and like right now you see it, and if it's under $3, you think,
Yeah.
Gas is
Oh
good.
my God. Oh my
used to
God.
it was easily under $2.
Yeah, and then I
Shit,
remember.
I remember it was like $1.99. Like hell yeah, or
Yeah.
$1.80. That was the
Yeah.
cheapest that I saw
But
it.
now anything under $3 now.
Yeah,
Is,
you're
it's
like,
a-
oh man, that's
I
great.
got to fill up right now.
And I can actually eat lunch today.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So, and I'm not an expert. I'm not a politician, and I don't know everything, and I don't claim to. But if there's something that we can stick to and something that we can make happen for our country, then put me on it, because I want to be able to help out the best way I can. And I think that if we all stuck together and we all contributed to a certain extent, I think that it would be a lot better and a lot more beneficial to the country.
Well, here's the thing: we all do take part, but not everyone, because
Right.
they also claim for benefits with the government and everything. So,
Right.
so like us, being taxed, the government should sit here and take that tax and be okay. Well, I'm gonna pay this part, paying the debt back,
Right.
and then at the end of the year, because since we do tax returns and we get taxed upon our taxes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like a cycle, but we also still get our money back from paying.
Yeah.
So,
I would.
but
I
I
don't
just feel like they're not using it to the best of their abilities.
Yeah. I did my taxes, and I feel like the amount of money that I'm getting back, I definitely could be used better and more efficiently if they knew what to do with it than it being in my hands. But that is my money, and that is what I gave them. But at the same time, do something better with our country than what you're doing with it now.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So that's how I feel about it. Alex, you got to add anything else on that?
Like I said, it's a big picture, and there's a lot that goes into it that is above my head. And at the end of the day, man, it's just I just hope and pray that our leaders in charge can make the best decisions. Because I think there's a lot of different there's a lot of different hiccups with the way it works, and I think if you go one way, you're gonna have some cons coming at you from the other side, and vice versa. So I'm sure it's a complicated process.
Yeah, I don't think it's as easy as
It's
taking
like,
this
yeah.
money and put it towards the debt. I don't think
Well,
it's that
absolutely,
easy.
because I feel like everyone's going to fight for what they want.
Yeah, and
It's going to trigger some people for sure.
yeah, and as divided as our country is right now, people will come up to you and shoot you for your opinion and how you feel about something. That's absolutely fucking insane.
Yeah, I don't know where to even begin as far as kind of trying to unify.
Yeah, I would.
Every side. But,
I would love to see a place where we could come together as every opinion, every race, and every different ethnicity come together and just be who we are and love everybody independently. You know what I mean? For who they are as a person, and
And we talk about the government and higher ups in our nation. I feel like that a lot of people in positions of power, they like to weaponize the
vision.
way the division. They thrive off of
Yes,
this.
it's
A
like
lot
they
of
got they have
politicians and people in power. they get a lot from.
They
you
get
know,
off
all
on that shit. Like it's a power trip to them or something. Like, and they're like, if we can keep them divided for this long, you know, imagine. Hey, if we keep them distracted with this right here, we could pass this bill and nobody would know, right? There's been numerous things that has happened like that. I can't remember what they are, but back when everybody was worried about what bathroom they were using, they passed a law about something. I can't remember what it is, but it was pretty crazy. I think, what's the next thing? Didn't we have something to do with Biden? Let's talk about support to Ukraine and how much money we're sending them.
I was about to say, let's ask.
I don't know what the. Hey Google, how much money has the U.S. sent to Ukraine?
On the website usaid.gov, they say the United States, through the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, and in coordination with the U.S. Department of the Treasury and the Department of State, is providing an additional $4.5 billion in direct budgetary support to the government of Ukraine.
So,
where are they getting this money? That's my thing.
Yeah, because Biden said that we don't have any more money.
None at all.
But we're gonna give them more money. I think I seen something a couple of months ago that said 40% of all money that is in circulation right now was printed in the last year. So that's why inflation is so high, and that's why it costs $8 for a dozen eggs. And last year at this time it was $1.80 for a dozen eggs, or 36 eggs. So I don't know. I don't like what's happened to Ukraine. I think it's a horrible thing. I think that there's more that we can do than what we're doing. I think if we went in there, it would cause a bigger war than what's over there right now, because then NATO would be a part of it, and then it would be a bigger war than what we want it to be, and it would definitely be a World War III. But I think Putin's talking out of his ass, saying that he's gonna do anything to us for supporting Ukraine. But I don't feel like money should be sent over there. I think that we should just send ammo at least. You know,
provisions,
yeah,
food,
yes,
you know,
food, yeah,
necessities.
Food, shelter, stuff like that. Nothing. I mean, I don't know about like the whole ammo, because I feel like it just caused another
ammo?
uproar. Yeah.
Yeah, but Ukraine is trying to be a part of NATO.
Oh.
So I don't think that if we gave them, ammo and weapons and things like that, I don't think that they would use them against us, because Ukraine is such a peaceful country. Because when it broke off from Russia, the USSR, Soviet Russia, when Ukraine became its own place and its own country, I think that's when they broke off from the ideals of Russia. But Putin wants to bring back the whole USSR and what Soviet Russia used to be.
Okay.
So, but you guys have your opinion?
I mean, it reminds me a lot, like looking at history, like back in World War II, before the U.S. was involved. We were sending supplies and everything that we could to help the Brits, but we didn't want no part of that.
Yeah.
Until our hands were forced. So I don't think the U.S. is gonna, like you said, like actual foot soldiers or anything like that. I don't see that happening. It's like, and war's different nowadays. It's not like a World War III. It's not going to be fought,
with guns.
with guns and infantry. Yeah, it's going to be mutually assured destruction, fallout type stuff.
I like how you said that, mutually assured destruction.
And that's scary, and it's also kind of comforting, if that makes sense, because these leaders got to know that what they send is going to be coming right back to them after. You know what I'm saying? So it's scary to know that the whole world could be,
Vaporized.
basically destroyed
Yeah.
in that event. But I mean, it's also nice to know that hopefully these leaders got some sense in their brains, knowing that it's once it's done, it's going to be collateral damage across the globe.
So, what were we talking about?
We were talking about the whole Ukraine and sending, like,
sending money. To
Yeah.
So, but that's I don't remember. But hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully it'll hopefully they'll everything goes smoothly for them, and I don't want anything bad to happen. I don't want to have that mutually assured destruction. I don't want that. I wish we all could live in peace and harmony, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, nobody's ever going to lay down their arms. They're always going to be there, and that.
I know I wouldn't.
Yeah.
And I pray for peace, but I train for war. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't. So, Aaron, what's your take on it?
I agree with you. I prefer peace over wars, but we're as a society today, what we led back to, back in the 19 whatevers, it's just caused not trauma, but just history that we have to understand, that we have to protect ourselves just as much as everyone else does, because we basically, what's the word I'm looking for? We're on our own in this world.
It's true.
And that's what sucks about it, is because anyone and anybody can sit there and take what we have.
Yeah.
And keeping, your offense is your best defense, and having what you got on standby. I mean, you got to, like I said, it'd be nice for everybody just to lay down and be peaceful with each other. But you gotta be ready for anything.
Yeah, it's true. I think. What's our next topic?
Let's talk about gun control, since we're on the topic about the whole Ukraine.
Let's talk about that thing that happened in California, and then we can talk about gun control.
Okay.
So I know the most about it. Last night, I think it happened about 10 or 12 hours ago, in California, there was a shooting at a ballroom. There was 10 people that were killed and 10 people that were injured, and their states from stable to critical. So I hate to see lives lost because of the wrong people having guns, or not having the right people with guns. I think there's a big stigma on having a weapon with you, and I feel like there's more people that are against having a gun, a good person with a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Just if you put up a sign doesn't mean that some bad person can't come through with a gun.
Absolutely.
Like, that sign is for the law-abiding citizens, people who respect the rules, right? So I feel like at most places, at a lot of places, they should have guns. A lot of good people with guns, because if anything does happen, there will be somebody there that can and will be there to help and protect people. And
so, do you know anything of like what made him decide to kill? No,
I don't know anything about it. There was 10 people killed and there was 10 people injured. They said that one of the victims that was there, he said that he heard all the rounds go off, and he heard him take the clip out, put it away, and get a new one, and cock his gun again, and then start shooting again. So, and it's crazy. I don't like it. I wish there was good people with guns there that could have saved lives, because there was a story somewhere where somebody had opened fire in a food plaza at a mall, but someone subdued the shooter by shooting him in the chest, and he was I think one or two people got shot, but they were stable, they were fine. They got shot in the arm or leg or something. But if that person didn't have a gun, imagine how many people would have died if there wasn't a good person with a gun.
Yep.
So I think there's a stigma on people having guns or having a certain type of gun. I don't feel like any gun should be taken away from anybody unless they don't deserve their guns. You know, I feel like having the responsibility and going through the right channels and going through the extensive background check and going through all of the channels to have that gun with you, I feel like they should do more research on how to prevent bad people with guns. Because people that are bad, they can sit there in a room and say tell a psychiatrist everything that they want to hear, right? And they may not pick up on it because they're just a psychiatrist. What do they really know? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because these bad people are a lot smarter than the average bear, in my opinion. But I feel like more good people with guns would serve a better purpose than how many bad people with guns. I feel like there should be more defense I feel like there should be more defense with good people with guns than bad people with guns. But then it's, would create a more civil unrest because you never know.
Yeah, I mean, you start mentioning putting guns in like elementary schools and stuff. There's going to be a considerable amount of people upset about it. But in the event that there is another school shooting, I say another because
one.
It's
only a matter of time.
When I was growing up,
never.
It was hardly ever something like this, but now it is all the time. And the more and more it happens, we don't want the kids to have to endure being around, good, hired, people that can defend with weapons, because, it's hard for kids to have to see that and grow up with that. But with how much this stuff's happening nowadays, like I said, good people with guns that can defend, it might be the difference in 20 children getting killed in a shooting versus maybe one getting injured. And,
right.
I just say that, I don't know how effective, policies and programs like that could be, but, something's got to be done, or it's only going to continue.
I think the trauma of having a classmate die, or in these kids' schools, I think the trauma of having a teacher die, having someone die in front of you, is more traumatic than having a good person with a gun shoot a bad guy. I think it would be more traumatic for them to see someone die at such a young age.
Yep.
Right? That's my opinion. I think if we have guns in elementary school, teachers with guns would be a very good thing.
Well, I mean, they're also,
and obviously the kids can't get to them. That's,
that, or they can have people who are like certified, like as a policeman would be, and then have that person carry that gun so that the teachers don't have that upon them, so it doesn't prevent trauma to the kids, or how parents see it as well, I don't want my kids seeing my teacher or their teacher holding a gun or anything.
Okay, homeschooling them.
That too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what it's coming down to, because we're gonna have to put guns in schools. We're gonna have to. Everybody is gonna. It's gonna be like Texas. Everybody gets a gun. You know what I mean?
Everything
but
bigger
I'm
and
just
Texas.
But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
If we can get good people with guns in schools, I think it'll prevent a lot of the bad things that happen. That's my opinion. And I won't change it. And I won't change it. So, but that's my opinion.
You was talking about psychiatrists and everything. Yeah, the mental health part is a big part in preventing the shootings from happening for the shooter, the perpetrator. I mean, because 9 out of 10 of these cases, these people got something wrong with them in the head.
True.
Something traumatic happened to them. and they think their only way for a solution is to, go on a rampage and take it out on the bigger people. So
Yeah.
People preach it nowadays and how mental health is very important, and it is because it might go the extra mile in hurting themselves or other people. God forbid.
Mental health is
and that's
important.
what sucks about this country, because the whole topic that we talked about last week was medical insurance, how
Medical insurance.
medical care should be.
A lot of places don't even pay for psychiatrists.
No,
A lot of insurance doesn't even pay for that.
it's not because the psychiatrists won't take it. It's because I don't know what the industry is, but I was watching on TikTok that this lady, she was on months and months and months on end sitting here trying to make it where she can accept insurance, and they'd said call me back in 3 months, call me back next month, and she was just fed up with it and everything. And so let her become a year later or so, they finally told her hey, we accepted it, but now you gotta do this. So it's just more paperwork, and that's the reason why psychiatrists can't sit here and accept medical insurances, is because the people just play around with that shit.
Right.
But I don't stand up for that. I don't agree. I think everyone should be able to see a psychiatrist with insurance.
With the insurance that we have at the place that we work, they pay for one session. That's it. One session isn't enough.
No.
You know what I mean?
We deal with the fucking public.
It's a continuous thing that you have to go to this place. You have to go to the same person, build a rapport, build trust, and who knows what is a trauma to one person isn't trauma to another.
That's right.
Because we could all live the same life, and you and you, me, all of us are gonna be different. We're gonna be completely different than just because we live the same life. You know what I mean? So I don't feel like one session is enough. I feel like even if you went for a year or 2 years, that may not be enough for just an average person.
Well, at least have it every other month or once
a
a month.
A lot of people go once or twice a month.
Just so it better helps them to get shit off of their chest and everything, because they absorb shit throughout the whole month.
And if you can vent to somebody and have somebody on your side to listen, because sometimes you can't get that from your spouse.
No, because you give all that negative energy back to them, and then it feeds that back to you.
Yeah, and then it's a vicious cycle. That's why most of the time I just keep my mouth shut.
Or sometimes the person you're talking to has always got to have an answer, when really there might not be an answer. They just need to listen and just hear what you got to say.
And see, us as men, we provide solutions. You know what I mean? We provide solutions for a problem that you may or may not have. And if we can look and see a solution, we're going to tell you about it. That's just the way we are. It's the way we're wired, and sometimes you just need to listen.
Yeah, it's hard for me. Anytime people are talking to me about the problems, I always want to kind of think about, well, man, this might be the fix for you, or this might end all your strife with it.
Yeah.
And sometimes, it's just as simple as, I got to tell somebody about it.
Yeah.
They're going to go crazy with it.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of what a lot of friendships are. You know what I mean? If someone doesn't necessarily want my opinion, I'm going to tell you. You know what I mean? Because that's just the way I am. Even if you don't want to hear it, this is what I would say, or this is what I would do in that certain situation. But other than that, I'll sit here and listen to you.
Well, it's an opinion, so you take it as how you want it.
I don't want to tell anybody what to do. You know what I mean? That's not my life to live. That's not my situation. But I'll tell you what I'll do, what I would do. I'll tell you what I would do, you know what I mean, in that situation. But at the same time, it just depends on the situation, the person, what they're talking about. So, what are we talking about?
I was talking about the California shooting and guns, and then
we were talking about therapy.
Mental health. Yeah, dude, we're
segueing
segueing right through it, man. We don't even need segues, man. We're just rolling on through.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about like the bus driver substitute that happened in Paulding County. So,
Yeah, tell us what happened, and then we can give our opinion.
So here's the thing. So I was scrolling through TikTok, and this one TikTok was like, "Oh shit! Like this would be great for the podcast." So of course, like procedures change on how things work. Back in your day, back in my day, everything's updating.
Yeah.
And so all I can see was this lady was filming, and her children were ready to get off the bus, and of course the bus driver wasn't having it. She was telling them to sit back down, and then one of the mothers decided to get on the bus, and things were said, and of course bus driver tells her to get off the bus, and the bus driver pushes her off, and the lady slapped her, and then she closed the doors and fucking drove off. And
What?
Yeah.
So, hold on. Back up. Tell me that one more time. What? Who slapped
Yeah.
who and
Okay.
who pushed
Were they
who?
both
Okay.
females? Was the driver a female?
Yeah, so
Okay.
the driver was a female, and
Okay.
the mother, of course. So the bus driver told the mother to get off the bus, and then she pushed her.
The bus driver pushed her.
Yes,
First.
Okay.
Okay.
Before the lady.
And this mother's daughter was on the bus.
Yes.
Oh, good lord.
And of course, she slapped her, and then, she told her to get the fuck off the bus. She closed the doors and drove off. And, of course, the kids are screaming out the windows and everything, and that, causes trauma to kids and everything.
Yeah.
And it'll be something that they'll have to, it's going to be something.
That is going to be fear that they don't want to ride that bus no more.
Fuck no.
And,
And, according to news, they said that that the lady who slapped the bus driver was going to be,
Charged for like battery or something?
yeah,
Oh,
charged
oh
for
my
battery.
gosh.
Sorry,
yeah.
out the fucking window.
So,
But here's my thing: is how you see it is that the lady pushed her off the bus, and mind you, whenever you get on a bus, like there's stairs.
Yeah.
So I mean, if she falls back, then like
I could kill her if she hits her head the wrong way or
absolutely.
something.
So I mean, yeah, I would slap the fucking like she pushed me before I even slapped her. So yeah, I'm definitely
My
gonna slap
children
that
are
bitch.
on
yeah,
this bus.
I would grab on. Oh man, don't get me started, dude.
Do we have
okay?
do we have a motive from this bus driver's perspective of why
Should we
couldn't
even
let the
think
kid,
that's okay?
or like why we couldn't even let the kids off or something like that?
Well, the thing is that now they have a procedure where they had a pass, like yellow bus pass, so they can get off the school bus. I don't know because
So the parents have to have that to get their kids?
I think the kids have to have a pass to get off the bus.
That's fucking stupid.
I agree.
That's fucking stupid. If my mom's right there, I'll be like, Mom, come and get me, because my mom's
That's my coffee maker.
my mom's crazy, bro. Like, if my mom don't get me started. I'm telling you, dude, don't get me started. If my mom was there and I was on the bus and I'm 5, 6, 10 years old, something like that, whatever. My mom's getting on that bus and she's getting me off it.
Hell yeah.
Ain't nobody stopping my mom from getting me. Okay?
Yeah.
Not a push, not a slap, not a punch. My mom will beat the fuck out of somebody.
I agree that system is kind of flawed.
If
about
a
the
parent-
passes,
If
And
a
like-
parent
I mean,
has
the-
to have a pass,
and here's the
I
thing.
get it.
Right. And here's the thing: the children had the pass,
Yeah.
and the substitute wasn't allowing them to get off the bus.
the only rationale I could see in that whole system is to prevent instances where the children go missing or they get on the wrong bus or
Yeah.
this and that and the other. But it'd make more sense if the parents had to have ID for the children or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean that's. And at the end of the day, if that's their kid, that's their kid.
But
Yeah.
How are
my-
you going to withhold them?
That's crazy.
But it's also the same thing as if you have a drop point area for your kids, and like
Yeah.
so. I mean, like and even the children would sit there and tell the bus driver like, "Hey, I'm not comfortable getting off of this because like there's some sketchy people right there. I don't want to get off the bus, because kids will be kids and they'll tell straight up like anything if something's wrong. So I mean. Of course, like the children were like, Mom, I want to get off the bus. And, of course, the bus driver drives off and
Yeah.
screaming
Yeah.
her head's off. So you knew that like she fucked up right there. And you know, later on, there's also more parents that were getting the children off that were using an emergency exit door to get all the kids that they, you know, of course, all the kids that are
Yeah, I
their
see
kids.
the video. I don't know if this is related to it at all, but I've seen this bus that was stopped in the intersection, and the bus door was closed, but the kids were pulling down the windows, and the parents were reaching up and grabbing these kids off the bus because all the kids were screaming. They opened the emergency exit, like you said, and they were running. I don't know if it's the same story.
It may be the
but
same story.
That she was in an intersection, and all these parents, they were blocking this bus in to get all these kids off the bus.
And you know, I don't understand because of like, you know, assault and stuff for that lady who slapped the bus driver because, you know, of course, that's their children.
Yeah.
If they're gonna, you know, accuse her and charge her for that, then they should also charge the parent that opened the emergency exit door as
Sure.
well.
Sure.
But I mean, at the same sense, like, you know, parents are there to protect their children just as much as the bus driver. But I feel like the parents should have more of their authority over the children or over their
Yeah.
children getting off the bus because
It is the bus driver's responsibility to make sure the kids get there safe and get off safe and get with the right person. If the parent has to have a pass for their kids that matches, you know, the duct tape on the backpack or a patch on their backpack or something, that makes sense. That could work.
right.
Could work. I mean, keep the pass in your back pocket, in your wallet, in your purse, and you know, have it somewhere or something. That could work. But having kids responsible for a pass, I can't see that.
The kids will be kids; they'll lose shit. So I mean,
Yeah.
like they're.
I think one of the biggest head scratches about the deal is talking about pressing charges for the people trying to take care of their kids. And you know, I just want to quickly go down a rabbit hole and interject. You, with anything nowadays, you will get charged for doing anything like out of line. You know, and it's hard to, you know, I considerably think when I'm going out in everyday life, like, refraining from doing certain things because, you know, some people, like you said, some people will shoot you over having a different opinion.
Yeah.
Some people will try to get you in court over something, you know, very trivial nowadays.
Yeah. Yep.
In an instance, like your mother just trying to get her child after she was, you know, battered, getting pushed down the stairs.
Yeah.
And just, I mean, retaliation, and then it ends up on her head for being the you know,
Dude,
perpetrator of
I
violence.
know.
It's crazy.
I
You know,
really
it's- And then you brought back the good topic of like, well, I mean, if the one mother's going to get charged, I mean, what are they going to do about the other
Bus
parents, or the parents, like you said,
Oh.
trying to
Parents and the bus
physically get in there
driver.
and get their,
Yeah.
you know, it's.
I don't know.
And like one thing is that one lady even agreed, but with the bus driver. But at the same sense, if the children are screaming, I just can't agree with that because that just prevents trauma and everything. The snowcat.
Oh, Jeremy Renner got ran over by a snowcat. Dude. You seen
I've
that?
seen that.
Dude broke 33 bones. Had 2 surgeries that day.
It was on New Year's, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
New Year's Eve or New
Yeah.
Year's.
I seen it the other day, so I wanted to talk about it. He's
been-
okay now. He's at home doing rehabilitation and stuff. But I'm really glad that he's okay, man. Because I guess he was, from what I heard, he was using the snowcat to unplow somebody's vehicle around his Nevada home.
Like
So-
he was using it.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was the snowplow that was like someone else was using it.
Maybe, I don't know.
I think he was operating the machine.
I don't know.
I think
He could be. I thought he was, but I just want to, say that I hope that he's okay because he seems like a great guy. I know that he's home and everything.
He's
but-
been reaching out to fans on his socials, and I think it was a few days after the incident. He looked messed up
Yeah,
from
dude,
the
I
picture
see,
he took.
yeah.
But
I'll put it up. I'll
Yeah,
put it up on post. I'll be like, this way, this way.
Yeah, he's gonna make it though. He was in critical condition though whenever that happened.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was
because
the-
he was there was a 911 call. He's like, he's got shallow breath and he's not, he's trying to fall asleep, but he can't, if he fell asleep, he die. So
those are big topics whenever celebrities get hurt or injured or pass away.
Yeah.
It's people I've grown up and watched their
ASMR right
movies. What?
ASMR.
Yeah.
Shoot, I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying it's those deaths and those injuries and everything. It's hard to avoid seeing stuff like that.
Yeah, 'cause they're in
Anytime
the
somebody
public eye.
says, yeah,
So
it's
hey, you know what? I wanna see what Alex's opinion is on marijuana.
Okay.
We talked about it last week.
Marijuana legalization. How do you,
How do you feel about it? We already talked about it.
it's gonna happen eventually.
Yeah. But how do you feel personally? Have you done it? Do
I-
you like it?
Take this for what it is, but I've never smoked in my life.
Aaron, you got some?
No.
we Seth never smoked weed either. So
Really?
yeah.
Now, I mean, I've drank alcohol and but as far as weed, I've never done weed or any drugs higher than that. Really, I think I've taken like Norco or oxycodones, Percocets whenever I was like had like my wisdom teeth taken out when I was like 12 or 13. But yeah, other than that, I don't have experience. But asking back to the main question about legalizing pot. The only reason why it's not legal is because of money,
Yeah.
and it's already happening across the nation.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. I feel like it's going to happen in every other state eventually. It's just
Eventually.
time,
It's going to be decriminalized. In Michigan, it's decriminalized. You can carry so much before you get in trouble.
As far as I don't care.
Yeah.
I couldn't care less.
Have
It's
you
like,
been
it's like
around it?
yes.
Like, buddy.
One of my best friends in my life used to smoke pot a lot.
Yeah.
And
You never tried it.
I never did.
Did
I
he
just-
ask you?
Yeah.
Playing.
I've been offered plenty of times, and that has never stopped.
Yeah. And
Uh,
probably never will.
yeah.
Everybody smokes still, but.
No, like he ain't smoked weed in a long time, but I've been exposed to it plenty, and like it's just I don't care, and I'm kind of this way about a lot of substances. As long as you're not hurting anybody, or
Yeah.
that's your life,
Yeah.
and if there's harmful consequences for anything, smoking, drinking.
That's true.
And as long as you take accountability and you accept the terms
The
of
risk.
what you're doing and the risks.
The terms and conditions.
Yeah.
You gotta click that box. Are you a robot?
That's what they need to do if they legalize pot in our state. Anytime you buy an ounce or however much you buy, you gotta sign the little terms.
Yeah, terms and conditions.
Did you read all the terms? No, I just signed the bottom.
Next.
Scroll on
I
to
think
the
I
bottom.
did. I was too high when I was signing.
Alright. I mean,
I will say this: I've never smoked. Drank alcohol, been under the influence. I will say I think alcohol is more detrimental to somebody's
it's true. It is.
ability
Yeah.
to function than weed.
I-
Because being around weed, I've seen the potheads, and at most, I've just seen people be annoying.
Yeah.
But how much they want to talk about something,
Oh
or
my
want
God,
something
yeah.
to eat.
Yeah.
Now, I've never seen somebody threaten violence and get crazy
Weed.
on weed.
Yeah.
I've seen that being
Yeah.
around people
Oh, yeah.
getting drunk. So-
Yeah, I've been around both all of my life. So
and alcohol's been legal for how long? I don't know.
I've been around both all my life.
Yeah.
My grandpa, my uncle, all these people in my life. I've seen what addiction does to people in my family. But I feel like drinking that addiction is a gene that's created in your DNA. So when your parents have you, you have that gene, so if you start drinking, it's going to be more developed. You know, as far as that addiction, I don't necessarily like alcohol. I don't smoke or drink. I've tried weed a couple of times, and I've drank one time. That was with my mom in the New Year's of 2008. But I've never drank. So, and then that didn't stop anybody else from being, saying, offering me the shit. They were like, Tim, here, man, you can have all the weed you want. Dude, you have all the weed you want, because they know I wouldn't smoke it. So,
I mean, there's addictions for different things. I mean, I said, weed isn't as problematic as alcohol, but don't get me wrong, you can still be addicted and dependent on that stuff, and it can cause problems in your life.
Yeah, it's true. It's not a physical addiction. It's a mental addiction.
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
there's no physical chemical in marijuana that is addicting. It's a mental addiction to it. So.
Yeah. There's different things though you can get hooked on. They don't gotta be a substance either.
It don't gotta be.
You can. You like the way I said that?
Yeah.
You know where we're from.
Yeah, sound like a true Confederate.
Oh, really? No?
Did I really? You want to go to war again? You know what happened last time, right?
Call me Robert A. Lee. Let's go.
Damn.
I don't even know a Yankee fucking general. I don't know one. I don't
Really?
know. Yeah, I don't know one.
Grant.
Grant?
Ulysses.
No, I don't know.
Those were kind of the main head honchos. You got E. Lee and then you got Grant. Those. The Union went through several different generals before Abe got his man, which was Grant.
Yeah.
I can't remember all their names, but I mean,
No, I wouldn't even attempt to try to remember because I don't know.
Civil War is just a big. Man, there's a lot to it.
But I mean, you gotta understand, slavery is bad.
Yeah, I mean that's what it boils down to.
I mean, honestly and truly.
There's a lot more to it. A lot of people say.
Oh yeah, like we were talking about the other day. Schools only teach the history that they want us to learn, right? There is so much more about our country's history that they don't want us to know.
Yeah, I mean, the U.S. has done plenty of shady stuff in every global encounter or whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's U.S. isn't always just plain black and white, the bad guys. I mean, or good guys. There's there's atrocities on every side. You can look at World War II for that. I mean, you want to think that the Nazis and the Japanese and communists were the just the bringers of all the brutality. Now I'm sure, and there's documented evidence. The atrocities committed. From the Allies. I mean, it's. But you don't hear about none of that stuff.
No, you don't, because we're the good guys.
You hear about the concentration camps and the gulags all the time, but
you don't hear about the American concentration camps.
You don't hear about or how they treated prisoners of war. And
right.
I mean, it's
dude.
There's a lot to it.
There really is, and I don't like it any more than anybody else does. I don't like war, but it's necessary.
And people, I mean, you hear it all the time, teach history so you don't repeat it. And when you leave out, when you start leaving out, pieces of the puzzle, that leads down that little streamline of, making the same mistakes. But that's
I do believe that too. We need to be more involved in our country's history and our future. So,
weed to war to history.
Do what? from kids to weed to lore to history. I mean, what else we got on there, man?
Well, I put down people at Walmart, but you would best explain what the topic is.
Okay, so this mother is at this Walmart. She has her 2 or 3 kids with her. And this guy's been tailing her throughout the whole Walmart. And he gets up next to her. She turns her back for a second. He grabs her youngest kid and takes her and holds a knife to her throat and is gonna kill her. And she's like, "Dude, give me back my baby," you know what I mean? He's just laying there, and he's standing there, you know, with a knife to the daughter's throat, and the daughter does not know what to do. You know what I mean? Like, she's completely flabbergasted. You can see her kind of just, you know, limp there. You know what I mean? She's petrified. They eventually get the cops out there, and then a negotiator. So this is crazy. So they end up spending 30 to 45 minutes talking to this guy. They give him a chair, give him water, and things like that. They start building a rapport so they can kind of...
While he's holding the girl hostage?
Yes, literally right there in Walmart. And they're trying to build a rapport, and this dude gave him a chair. Dude sits down, right? And they're a couple hours over trying to get these snipers clear line to shoot this guy in the head. So, the negotiator is sitting there, right? He's ready to go. He gets down just squats down, and he hears a noise over on the aisle, and he turns his head, and the negotiator pulls his gun and shoots him in the head.
Where did this happen?
In Walmart. I don't know. We don't remember what state, but
And this is recent now?
yeah, it happened a few days ago. Dude shoots him, point blank range, boom, dead. He was gonna kill this little girl. You know what I mean? You should never fuck with kids.
Yeah, that takes it a step too far. It's...
Yeah.
I mean, I'm blessed that I've never had to witness anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just that's just mind blowing to even think about.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what do you think about that area?
Places aren't safe as they used to be, and the whole going back to gun control and everything, and well, not really necessarily gun control. Anyone can use a weapon, like anything can be made out of something.
Yeah.
As a weapon, and that's what's really scary, is, you know, people don't know what is and what's not safe anymore, because we're not safe.
Where are we going? Where's our life going? You know, what are we doing that's wrong?
And you know, it's like, you know, you can't just sit there and like walk and like, you know, just keep walking forward. You always have to check your back. And that's what's, you know, scary, is because, you know, anyone can come run up on you and rob you or slit your throat or anything like that.
It is easy to get, I mean, just complacent, if that's the word I'm looking for, but comfortable. That's a better word I'm looking for. It's easy to get comfortable in everyday life, and you never know when that's going to happen. I mean, I heard a guy tell me once, he was explaining, like, anywhere he goes, say a restaurant or anything, he'll always try to sit with his, you know, back not facing entry.
Anywhere I go, Aaron will contest this because we've had dinner. If I'm sitting down, I want to be facing the door because I want to know who comes in.
Right.
Because whenever I go out to eat with Brainy and the kids, I always face towards the door because I have to know who comes through that door. If someone comes in yelling and screaming, I'm going to be the first one up. You know what I mean? Because I don't know why. It's just my mentality. Ever since, like, if there's a group of people and we're walking, I always walk towards the back, because if I'm at the back, I can see everybody. I can see what's going on, right? I'll follow you. You guys go ahead. You know what I mean?
It's hard to imagine people having just that that ability to commit such atrocities. I mean, and even on like just the minimal level of just being polite and kind. People are so mean nowadays. You know,
really
I'm not talking about people wanting to, you know, harm children or, you know, commit, you know, something like that you're talking about happening in Walmart. But, you know, people are just mean nowadays, just full of hatred.
Yeah, like they want
you get a stink eye from just greeting somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Oh my god! You have to walk up this for me. You have to unlock this and walk it up for me.
Do you really think I'm gonna steal?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a great one. Do you know how much I spend here? Do you know how much I spend? Yeah.
We have
probably
your
more
plaque,
than I do.
We have your plaque and picture on the Hall of Fame of customers.
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
in the back. So
Yeah. So, dude, you just gotta follow the rules. You know what I mean? And as long as we are law-abiding citizens, we don't really have anything to worry about. You know,
other than the ones that aren't.
other than the ones that are. But I'm saying if everybody did.
Yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be
We can't just sit here and collect water because we don't know if it's safe or not.
Yeah. It's true because they're, you know, a lot of people are speculating chemtrails. You know what those are? Chemtrails? Where they fly in the jets and they release something and then the next day it rains or something. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. That would be crazy, but at the same time, I wouldn't put it past them. You know, it's crazy, but at the same time, you know, I can't imagine it not happening. Did you guys see that video? That it was all over the internet. And it was this round sphere that these jets were flying after. And stuff.
Oh, I saw that.
Did
and I was
you?
like, well, it was on TikTok.
So,
TikTok.
yeah,
I
I
saw
seen
it,
it.
and I
I
was
seen
like,
it
what the
on
fuck
TikTok.
is that?
I've
What
seen
do you
this
think?
video.
You haven't.
Can you pull it up? Just type in round sphere in sky or something. While you're looking
Give me
at
the
it up.
gist of it though, like you're saying.
So all it
jets.
is, all it is this round sphere. It's this perfectly round ball flying through the air, and all you hear is a, right? And then that's all you hear. That's all you hear. And
it
then
just sounds like ooh.
Is this from a movie?
no, these people, and then it comes behind it. These jets that are, you know what it sounds like? Yeah.
Did somebody escape Area 51?
I don't know. Do you believe in aliens?
There's a big universe out there, and
all that we can observe, dude. Come on, man. Come on, man.
I'll tell you this, I think it's very plausible,
Yeah.
and also
This,
it is scary to think that there is aliens out there, if there is, but it's also scary to think
that there's not.
that we're all that's in this. It's scary both ways.
All right, that's all we got. That's crazy. Dang.